Hello, everyone. So amazing 3 days. And I think after 3 days of cybersecurity discussions, we can safely say all of us are now compliant of having visible innovation seen, getting a lot of information. Most of the customers and the partners who have joined, I'm sure you guys have already started making plans that, okay, partners will be making plans of what kind of opportunities we have missed because these features were being hunted into different solutions. And partner must be very much charged up because now you see Gartner is in place. So those opportunities you had to let go because the word Gartner is to come into play. So lots and lots of things from after this innovations you guys are going to work on, and we together are going to work on. So I think this session which I have kept or which we have kept together is for hearing from our global panelist, which is present today. The objective of them sharing their experience, them sharing their challenges, live, real life experiences, is because we all have been talking about how we take care of real-time threats. Let's hear from those actors who have really faced that and made sure that that particular threat is being taken care of on a real-time basis, right? So we put face to the features that we have been presenting, right? So let me get straight to it. So we all know cybersecurity today is not failing because of we lack tools. It is failing because we have too many disconnected tools, too many alerts, and not enough actionable intelligence, right? So the real question is, are we still operating SOCs like it's 2018 while the attackers are operating like it's 2030, right? So today's panel is not about theory, it's more about real operators, like I said. And we have MSSP leaders managing multiple SOC tenants globally. We have CISOs who have been managing their banking and financial institutions where breaches are the business risk. And we also have cybersecurity heads driving transformation across the regions, right? So let me introduce everyone, and I would request every one of them to start their video and unmute themselves as soon as I introduce you. So we have the panelist Kunal Panchamia. He's the CEO of eProtect 360, scaling MSSP-led SOC innovation globally. We have Mr. Seydou Sidibe, the CEO of 3R Technology, a global Africa-based MSSP and SOC service provider catering to North and French-speaking Africa. We have Mr. Pratik Patil, Cybersecurity Head, Tech First Gulf. They are a security-focused value-added distributor having their own SOC managing multiple customers in whole of Middle East and Africa. We have Mr. Atul Gupta, the Senior Manager Cybersecurity from Black Box, a global SOC delivering lots and lots of services to global organizations, especially on the cybersecurity perspective. And from the end user facing side, we have Mr. Babakar and Mr. Martin. Both are the reputed CISOs of banks. So welcome all. You can all say or probably wave hands and say hi to everyone.
Hey, hey.
Hey
Hello.
everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good to see everyone on the call. So I'll start the first question. I think I'll go ahead with Mr. Sidhu. Mr. Sidhu, are you there?
Sure. Yes. Good afternoon.
Yes.
I'm here.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good to see you. Good to see you. So my first question to you is, what unique challenges do emerging markets face in cybersecurity in your region, in your experience of whatever the travels you have done globally?
Thank you very much, Yash. My name is Sidibe Seydou. I'm the CEO of 3R Technology in Cote d'Ivoire. Yash, the real challenge in emerging markets is not a lack of technology. It is a gap between the speed of the digitalization transformation and the maturity of cybersecurity. One of the important points is the fast growth of cybersecurity maturity. In emerging market, the priority is to deploy very fast cybersecurity, very fast application by government and platform, mobile financial services, and cloud infrastructure. However, there are some systems often implemented without integrated security on the design stage, meaning no prior risk assessment, weak architecture, and limited built-in protection mechanism. In many emerging markets, digital services are deployed for speed and fast access. First, security comes later, and that created a structural vulnerability. It means cyber risk is growing faster than maturity. This is one of the points. Then one of the second points is structural shortage of skills and cybersecurity professional. Also about budget. There is a critical life of experienced cybersecurity professional, a limited number of trained SOC analysis. Strong talent in Africa, especially in Cote d'Ivoire, are running toward international markets. This is the moment for me to thank Mr. Chandra, because I remember when we started in 2021, even Sandra itself with the general manager, the CEO of Seceon, was sometimes taking his time to train us. A low cybersecurity awareness within organization also is a big issue. Even at the leadership level, awareness of cybersecurity risk is often still limited. We have also a lack of budget. I remember in 2021 when we started our first SOC. After the starting of the SOC, we were looking for customers, and when I tried to go deeper, and I find a document of one of the big four that in Africa, in West Africa, French-speaking countries, only 2% of the IT manager plan a budget for SOC. It means, as a result, security remains mostly reactive instead of proactive. The last thing is also about sovereignty and government challenges. Sometimes the critical data are often hosted out of the borders. We have also a limitation of adoption of international standards such as ISO 27001 and ISO 22301, a weak governance and a resilience framework. Sovereignty in cybersecurity starts with visibility and control of data. Thank you, Yash.
Thanks a lot. Very great points added. Now, moving to Pratik, what trends you are seeing in cyber threats in the experience that you have had as the cybersecurity head catering to multiple solutions? To add on to Seydou, what would you like to share?
Perfect. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Before I answer that question, I would like to take a moment to introduce myself and my company. My name is Pratik Patil. I look after cybersecurity services portfolio in TFG. I've been in the cybersecurity industry for more than 14 years with experience working on multiple cybersecurity solutions in organizations across UAE, Qatar, Singapore, Kenya, and India. If I talk about TFG, we are a value-added distributor with presence across 14 countries, including regions like Saudi Arabia, Africa, India. We have headquarters in Dubai, where currently I am based and working from. With respect to business units, we are primarily deal with 4 business units: audiovisual, volume, infrastructure, and of course, cybersecurity. Coming back to the question, looking at the regional trends, what we have seen that there's a evolution of how attack methodologies have been changed. What you have seen that with the evolution of AI, attackers are becoming smart. They have started weaponizing the attacks using AI, which are more advanced and adaptive. And because of that, this attack keeps changing their behavior, and it becomes major challenge if you have to detect this with the traditional approaches what we have. If you have an attacker which is AI driven, we should have a detection which is intelligent as well. And that's where Seceon stands out. What we have seen that the Seceon detection and correlation engine is actually utilizing dynamic threat model which is powered by AI and ML, which can help not only to detect well-known attacks, but also advanced attacks, zero-day attacks, including ransomware attacks, where attacker methods are keep changing. So to answer what I will say that if I look at the trend, AI-driven attacks becoming a trend in the market, And happy to say that Seceon is actually on the way to actually ensure that we have advanced proactive detection against those. That's all what I can say. Yes.
Great point covered. Thanks, Pratik. I think to add to that, now let's move on to ask someone who has managed these multiple SOCs. So, our global MSSP, Kunal, what is the biggest challenge in scaling a multi-tenant SOC? Because challenges faced by Seydou in his regions and shared by Pratik, what is that you would want to add, especially on the biggest challenge that you face in the multi-tenant SOC which you run?
Thank you, Yash. First of all, would like to thanks Seceon and the leadership team for conducting these 3 days wonderful sessions and very innovative sessions, and concluding by the panel discussions. And would like to greet each and every members in this panel. Uh, Coming to the questions, what Yash has asked is today now, managing SOC is one of the challenge because everyone need a SOC, but to deliver the SOC, to manage the SOC, it's a challenge. And for that, if we start with the major challenges, so first of all, we require some platform which can cater multiple talent, and one MSP or one partner can manage multiple talents. So most of the solution doesn't have that single platform where we can onboard multiple customer in a single talent and we have a visibility. Second, if you onboard, even if you onboard multiple channel, the tenants, then the maximum challenge what you receive is the alert noise and the false positive, because again that is a major challenge for any MSP to manage those volume in a limited resource with a timeline and the SLA. Then lack of context per tenant, because each tenant has his own environment, it has its own challenge, it has its own country's law and all other thing. So managing those multiple tenants in a single platform, again it's a challenge. Coming to the next challenge is, the major challenge is on a limited automation and the playbook, where I think, Seceon is doing really good in that, because most of the player, they can give you a platform, but then doing the automations, creating a multiple playbooks, and that too user-friendly playbooks, where anyone can, without having any, major logic or the experience on the cybersecurity side, they can also create a playbook. So where most of the people are facing the challenge, and this is the differentiator from a secure side, that how we are, supporting those customers. Then when we are talking about architect and data scalability also, because nowadays everyone is growing, everyone is, increasing the data infrastructure and everything. So there are a lot of challenges in and important
I think
SLA
I think we
and
lost you, Kunal.
because
Yeah, okay.
customer comes with the own expectation and the SLA. So managing that part will require a really good platform and technical platform, where people like us who's managing multiple customers and thousands of devices in a single time can manage and meet the SLA. So I think those are the challenges as a multi-tenant SOC which anyone can face, and I think that's where we are a differentiator here in terms of the platform and in terms of the service provider. I hope I have given the right context to your question.
Absolutely. All this information coming from the industry leaders and real-time experience people adds a lot of value. Uh, as we're already talking about SOCs and multiple tenant SOCs, let me ask Atul as well. Atul, where do enterprise SOCs struggle mostly? Is it the integration or the automation, or how do you find these multiple tools being used by them and still they fail into mitigating the real-time threats? Please throw some light here.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Yash, for inviting me. I am Atul Gupta, Senior Manager at Blackbox Technology, based out of in Dubai. Addressing your question, Yash, very interesting question, basically. So across global enterprises, what we've seen, be it North America, EMEA, APAC regions, consistent struggle is for SOC integration, then followed by automation. And most of the organizations which have invested heavily in security tools such as SIM, NDR, IM, email security and vulnerability management, followed by all the intelligence platforms, we have seen that they work in siloed mode. Plus, managing different teams and integration is a challenge. Once we produce large volumes of correlated alerts or uncorrelated alerts, SOC analysts tend to lose visibility, right? And then that loss in visibility basically creates a attack surface for the hackers or the perpetrators. Much of SOCs also in globally that run, they report that a significant amount of time manually goes into correlating alerts, plus providing a context and pivoting across consoles. So that's where the analyst work is tedious and slows down in detection and response. Well, the whole idea has to be in maximizing the detection and response, plus automating, followed by once the integration phase is completed. So the whole idea what Seceon is also trying to achieve is that to build integration has to be seamless, plus a deeper level of automation that accelerates the efficiency for analysts. Data also leads to false positives, as the other colleagues were mentioning. That's absolutely right, wherein we see brittle workforces having constant tuning to be done. As a foundational challenge, definitely I would say that the heterogeneous tools working in siloed modes plus integration is wherein we see a major challenging also fall into the blind spots of the kill chain attack. Yes.
That's a great feedback. We have all talked about SOC and how integration and automation else, but we also have to cover the point which Seydou said about compliance. So, Martin, thanks for being on this call. Do you think compliance requirements helps, or it is slowing the security maturity, or do you think that there has to be? How do you balance as a CISO between compliance versus the real-time threat detection? Can you throw some light on that?
Thank you very much. Yes, good to see you on this call, and thank you, the Seceon team, for actually having this 2-3 days education days. It's good to see you, Mr. Kunal. It's been a while. Great.
Great to see
All
you.
right. Back to the question. When you're talking about compliance, you're talking about security, and I've actually been in different fora where we actually have these kind of conversations, and what it actually comes to is the fact that it's more like a two-probe approach, because compliance in itself, the compliance requirements, can actually either help security maturity, and that also has some other setbacks to actually put it back. It's a balance. So to create the balance is to actually have the best of both worlds. Okay, because if we look at the positive end of it, you see that compliance brings about this kind of frameworks that helps you to even check yourself. Because whether you like it or not, from different organizations, there are different units, maybe the compliance unit, the security unit, you have them differently. And you cannot be a judge in your own case whenever you're talking about security. So the compliance helps to put out that kind of accountability across the different teams, because you need to own it, you need to assign responsibility, you need to track this risk. That is where compliance comes in. And it also helps to also align the business with regulators, because today in financial space, financial institution space, we have regulators. Compliance comes in to actually bridge that gap, to be sure that the alignment actually happens, because it brings about consistency of all the standards. But where is the drawback? The drawback comes in the place that a lot of times we've seen audit of officers or compliance officers, they have a whole lot of checklists that they are dealing with. And that brings a whole lot of bureaucracy in the system, because while you're thinking of checking those, bringing about those checkbox, you see that technology and even security is moving at a very fast pace because of the evolving threat landscape. So where it comes to buy is that you need to be able to have a faster detection and response. And when you're thinking of this kind of checkbox mentality, it cannot actually help you to see beyond this. Compliance in itself, it is not security. Okay, we need to actually establish that compliance in itself is not security, but it all depends on the approach that's been taken. Okay, and that's where the balance comes in. And speaking to the Seceon in itself, the Seceon platform, it actually brings that balance we're talking about. It brings them all together. The fact that you can actually see your reports in time, with a very faster timing, you can actually look at the compliance setup and give an overview of the security posture. So that's where the differentiating factor comes in when you're talking about bridging those gaps, because it brings about that kind of balance that we want to actually see. Because a lot of times we've seen a whole lot of misaligned incentives. Because today, from compliance side, how they actually balance success is that, oh, you've passed the audit. instead of actually looking at the reduced attack surface or the faster detection or the real resilience that we're talking about. So that's where the balance is about. And that is what we're actually seeing when I'm using the Seceon AI SIM. It has brought about that, and we get the reports as at when due, even within the week under review. We try to also balance it and give an overall posture for the organization, especially in the financial sector, because it is very evolving and it changes very fast. Thank you.
Well said, Martin. I think every single panelist has tried to cover a few of the things very discreetly. They tried to tell you that integration is crucial. They tried to tell you that compliance is crucial. They tried to tell you that automation in the threat response is crucial. They've also showcased that how they have faced these SOC multi-tenant challenges and how they have overcome that with real-time automation and certain kind of unified platform, which helps, right? So you need to ask yourself, this is something which you already have. Seceon already delivers all these feature sets in its portfolio. And in the last 3 days, we have just added a mile of features for you to cover more. That means more coverage from the real-time cyber attacks, more coverage to the opportunities who's looking for to have certain dedicated features in a single unified platform. So I think there's one straightforward question to all the panelists, and after that, we'll just have a closing session. What defines a future-ready SOC? And how do you see Seceon being a pioneer into that? So what does, as a customer, it will help you? So we can start with Babakar and Martin, and then we'll go into the SOC team and the SOC heads. So Martin and Babakar, what do you think as if you are running your SOC or if you're running your managed services for your entire setup, what is that you look forward for a future ready SOC? Someone who you would want to go to.
Okay, Babakar, you can go first.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yash. First of all, I need to say thank you for the Seceon event, and thank you also for Yash for this opportunity. My name is Babakar Emma. I'm the CISO for Unbank that I would like to make the privacy of the name. Okay, so if I clearly understand, can you come again your question? Because I'm the French speaking. That's the reason why maybe my English is not very, very fluently. But can you come again, please, your question, please?
I think her question was that what you want to see from the Seceon, it's like that's what the question was. It's like if some things you want to see Seceon do, what it will be.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, for this question, for Seceon, first of all, I would like to share also my experience for Seceon, because in the past I have 10 years experience about the securities, and after I use the standard or the traditional SOC, okay, or CM, but now when they use the Seceon, I understand that how can I say the AI that we integrated can facilitate can facilitate the CISOs to have the opportunity to know what happened to our asset, because you understand that the problem that we have today is not the attacker but the silence compromise that we have in our system. It is not the attack but how we detect this problem, and currently many of the solutions take more time to detect the attack. And with the second one, this solution can give us the opportunity to detect very quickly some of attack like ransomware or financial fraud or compromised identity. I don't know if I clear understand or respond to your question.
Yeah, you did. Thank you. So now, as we are talking about future-ready SOC, let us ask all the MSSPs and the SOC providers who are present on the call, one by one. Please share what is that you will think that in the last 3 days, whatever innovations we have brought, how does it add value to your current SOC, or what is that you're looking at to be achieved from the future-ready SOC when you talk about your own SOC?
All right, sorry. Can I first of all speak? I think you
Yeah,
went
absolutely, Martin. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. For me, I know I've also discussed with my team, and I think some of them are even present at this particular session. We've talked about the future ready SOC, and we're looking at situations where we could actually have, I think I saw some of those kind of inputs in the presentation today. So we'll be able to report time to detect, that's the MTTD, the time to respond, and now to actually present to the board the financial risk that is reduced. Because from the financial space, something that is very key, aside the different systemic risks we see, there's a part of the fraud management. So for me, from speaking from one perspective, if I want to see a future SOC, I'll see that can actually integrate seamlessly with a fraud management solution if the future SOC, which is a platform that we see today from Seceon, cannot actually offer it. Let us see how it can actually synergize with these other fraud management solutions so that at every point in time, while we look at the systemic risk, we also know the financial part that, there's actually a fraud and there's a machine learning, there's an AI to actually detect that, so and so limits were being set and these particular limits were reached, or maybe it was actually derailed. So we want to see such kind of things in the future, and also see those kind of alerts that will also help us to advise the management when it has to do with fraud-related incidents. So that's what we'll be looking at for a future SOC with Seceon. Thank you.
Yeah, and Martin,
Great.
really appreciate you bringing up that, and we are going to add it. So come in the Q3, and that will be part of the solution itself. Okay, so thank you for bringing it because these feedbacks are really important.
Yeah.
And we have already done all the analysis behind it, and you will see that in the our Q3 release, it will be part of the inherent part of the platform going forward, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also, thank you very much, Andrea. I'm also ready for having such kind of POV in the future so that we actually see that it actually resolves that problem, because financial sector is actually needed. It will help us to bring down our costs
Yeah, so
significantly.
probably we'll give you even in the Q2, we'll give you that, it's like for beta and all that, because there has been some kind of analysis already done, some work done, but we'll give you a beta as well so that you can be part of the initial rollout, sir. Thank you so much for bringing that to the a forefront. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, sir. So, Atul, Kunal, and Pratik, and Sidhu, any words on the future ready SOC that you'd want to add?
Okay, Yash. As part of my first question, I was telling you that we were getting a lack of cybersecurity professional in Africa and also in Cote d'Ivoire. So with Seceon, that's where Seceon is doing very, very well for me. Seceon is industrializing and sharing expertise. It's permitting MSSP to centralize expertise, advanced tools, and best practice in a shared model. This allows organizations to benefit from a fully operational SOC without having inside internal SOC. This is something very important for us. And when using SOC in our experiences now, we are getting some feedback. I just want to give you one example that we got 3 days ago. One of our customer wants to make a POC. We started the POV. The same day, we saw that one infected USB stick was connected on one computer. And it was very amazing because we pushed that customer to just make the POC. And now, when we started, he saw that. And he said, I was thinking that we are secure, but it's like we are working without trousers outside. No, everybody can see us and can attack us. So this was very important for you. That's why I'm saying that the SOC is very important. And with Seceon, we are getting all the automation, automatic event correlation, behavior analysis, significant reduction of the false positive, and the automation response capability. These are the things very, very important for us because we don't have, enough staff, professional, well-trained to care of all these things. Then Seceon is doing all embedded in the system. For us, this is a very important thing, and that permits a reduction of dependencies of human and the expertise of increasing efficiency. So the talent alone cannot scale cybersecurity. So with the AI-based feature and automation, we are now mandatory to get all the AI featured like Seceon is doing right now. It's very important for us because the cybersecurity professional is a big issue in Africa. And when you finish to train them, that's just an example. When you finish to train them, you can make sure that they will go to France or Canada. So this is a big issue for us. That's where Seceon is doing very, very well. And we are really proud to be part of this partnership.
True, true. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. A quick word, guys, Kunal and Atul and Pratik. One-liner if you want to add to Future Ready SOC before we wrap up.
So from my end, I can say it should be no breach or reduce the risk, which is what the expectation. Yeah.
Spot on.
Hey,
Atul,
okay, please go ahead.
Pratik. Yeah. Go ahead, Pratik.
If I look at future ready SOC, the technology always comes second. Is the approach towards cybersecurity should be prioritized first. Most of the organizations still following the reactive approach to cybersecurity. They introduce all these solutions, SIEM, UEBA, after an audit finding, compliance requirement, or experience from the security incident. That approach should be changed. They should be more proactive towards it. They should start with a phase-wise approach towards having a SOC. Start with SIEM, UEBA, have a centralized visibility, behavioral analytics. Then once you reach to a stage where you have complete visibility, then introduce SOAR where you can start taking actions on it. And that's where most of the SOCs are functioning at this stage. However, they still lack is the EDR from third party. They always rely on third party EDRs. They don't have complete visibility on endpoints. That's where they should expand their services with introducing Seceon EDR in their portfolio, which will give a complete visibility on endpoint, and also they can start taking action on the endpoints. That's what I see. And at looking at the end, if I see a modern SOC should be, they should start introducing a threat hunting capabilities. They can introduce dark web monitoring, attack surface management, breach and attack simulation, vulnerability assessment. All this is being offered by Seceon. And that's what I feel this approach can help any organization to bring or mature their SOC capabilities with Seceon. And that's what I see. The modern SOC should be followed with a step-by-step approach and should be proactive in nature. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Well said, well said, well said. So thanks a lot, everyone. Let's close with one clear reality. Cybersecurity is not a tooling problem anymore. It's an intelligence problem, right? So the winners will be those, like everyone on the panel has said, which will eliminate the complexity, which will have enhanced AI-driven detection and response, and which will unify their security operations, right? So this is the takeaway from this panel. Thanks a lot to every panelist for keeping this practical and grounded with real life experience and what are the expectations. And thank you to our audience, because cybersecurity is no longer optional. It's foundational, right? So let's build the SOC that are not just receive, but predictive as well, right? Not reactive, but predictive. So looking forward. Thank you. Over to you, Maggie. Thanks a lot to all the panelists. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ash.
Thank you.